Welcome at Ask the Professor. Really enjoying that you are all very active and also have a nice questions of today and also of last session. I think we combine two sessions in one video because when we look at this Ask the Professor section 2, it's not that much, so we combine, have a nice movie, I hope. So enjoy. Let's start with the questions. First question was about safety on track, and that's a good question because safety first, always on railways, and we are very safe. I think the most safest way to travel. But as I said, one of the questions of one of the students, they said, okay, but how do you control that not somebody can just put something on the rail, on the track or whatever, or make some problems in the track? In Holland, for example, we have a lot of fences, and I think it's more than 12,000 kilometers of fences we have. And then you could say it's safe, but that's not true because still we have open spaces like a level crossing, but also the stations. And how we make safe that areas. And that's mostly done by cameras and also people, we call that BOA's in Dutch, that are just inspectors to control the safety, and if people are not walking around or keep the dogs out or whatever in the area of the train, because that's not safe, and you get also a fee. But okay, we have to control that, and there on that spaces we have the special agents, you can say, and also cameras. And at the level crossing, that's an extra one, we have special struggle mats, so you will fall down because of these special mats, because of the shape, with a lot of shape like pyramids, just to avoid that people can join and just walk into the track. So we do a lot, but still it is possible, because then I think you need a tunnel with really a guard before and the end of the tunnel. Another question is about switches and how this mechanism works, because you have this lateral movement, and you could say, yeah, but when something moves like this and the train is just going over with a high speed and a lot of weight, is that safe? And dynamically, you're right, it's really also bumpy because you switch from one leg to another leg, and that's also because there is a gap of air and not steel. So there is always a push and a lot of hammering of weight on that switch. But we have designed this very carefully, so it is engineered well. And I think the question was really focused on about how do you control this movement when it is fixed, how you can fix that and lock that position of the switch. So on front, at the front of the switch, we use special steel bars to control this with an electromotor. So that's one lock, you could say. On the other side, when that's the joint who can make the movement, that's an elastic joint. So we use the steel as an elastic joint, and we just take out some extra material so that makes it very flexible, just enough that it can move, but strong enough to lock everything so there will be no derailment. Maybe it's better to look for and search on Google to find a nice map of how this joint looks like when you look at the movements of the tongues and going to the frog nose. So maybe you see some pictures how it looks like. It's very ingenious and very safe, that's for sure. The next question is about what is the best way to control and to design the track when you have super high temperatures like in the desert, or low temperatures like in the North Pole, for example, in that area. So that's really a good question, because when you have a construction and you have difference of temperature, it will expand and also will shrink the full construction. And the question is how to control this. And therefore we have the neutral temperature. That means when you cut the rail bar at that temperature, it will not have any tension inside, no stresses, so you can just cut it without any problems. When there is some stress in the pool area, then it will jump open, and when you like to cut it in two pieces and it will push, then you cannot make it happen, because then your saw will just blocked. So the problem is, what is the right temperature and what is the right neutral temperature, so you don't have any problems in this area. So what you see when you look at tunnels, it's a lower temperature, of course, because you have no sunshine. But when you go out of the tunnel, you have a higher temperature, and that's because of the climate of that country. And that's different, not everywhere the same. Even in Europe we have more or less two temperatures, the north, colder area, and the south, more heated up. of course. So that's really a question you have to make yourself. And the best way is, please keep in mind that push power is really ugly and really dangerous instead of pull power. Pull power you can have more, so I would say put the neutral temperature much higher than just the average. That's my advice. Next question is about how can we make train operation, train travel profitable? And I think that's a good question. It is really an issue. How to make it happen that you can earn some money or make it even equal. That should be a nice goal. But the problem is you cannot, because when you see at the cost and how it is arranged, of course you have to rush hour and then it is fully packed of people. But that's only twice a day, and the other moments are just more or less moving heated air. And that's not nice in this thinking of efficiency and make it more profitable. When you look at the truck, it is really profitable because it's fully loaded, and also when it is putting some freight over there, he comes back with another freight transport. So there is no empty gap. So we have full efficiency, and then it is profitable. So my guess should be, can we make transport with passengers or freight more profitable while we have more transport all day long instead of the peaks like rush hour or just a full container and go back without anything or just air. So I think that's the key issue to control and to manage to have a better efficiency. When you have a better efficiency like the trucks, or more or less 100%, then you could make it profitable. When you do another issue about efficiency and economics, you could say, okay, how can we use saving traveling time or saving time so you could use the time to work harder or more? That means that you could say, I need money for that. But the problem is how to arrange this. So you also give an answer, the student who make this question. Yes, it is really political. Are we willing to make this system bigger than just the transport from one place to another? I think when you think bigger, and that should be the aim, I think also for the future, to have a better climate for our Mother Earth, you need a more efficiency as a system. And thinking in a system that's totally new, because we always think about, this is my spot, this is my earnings, this is my investments, and this is my business. But the business should be bigger, and then you see the gaps as you see already yourself. And how to manage this, I think that should become, the first step should come from the politics. So make your choice when there is an election. Power supply, also a nice topic to think over how to manage this in one unified 25 kilovolts, for example. That was the aim of Europe, to have this dream on the long run on all countries. But the problem is, we are not organized as one system in Europe. We are organized per country, and we have these national things and thoughts, and also investments, and also a culture. So that means that all the countries has its own investments, and railways is really a long run, a long breath of investments. So when you like to change the power supply, it will take 50 or 100 years so to phase out your old system. And when you have multiple countries like in Europe, say more than 20, so how to manage this? And then you always get this political game about, yeah, no time, we need reserves, we have this COVID period, we have a climate crisis, so where do you put your money in? And then that takes that long that it is not the first priority. So I think when you really like to say, okay, we need one big uniform homologation of the power supply, that should be the aim, but then you need the highest priority. So the question is how to get on this highest priority list. A question about RATB and ETMS and what is the best, and can you use RATB like in UK on the secondary line, say till 90 kilometers an hour? It's depending, what do you need? And I think what is the need you can go for. You can also see what is the need per country. The need in Europe is totally different than the need in South Africa or in South America. So that means what is your need and when are you satisfied with your safety regulations and safety level. And that's depending on how you make your choices to make the right decision on ETMS, RATB or whatever. We also have a good system in Holland. It is from just after the Second World War, still functioning well. We have and really punctuality of more than 92%, so that's really great. So you could say, why should we change this old-fashioned way? Because yeah, it works fine, so why not? And I think it's not only changing the system, it's also about what do you need. So when you need more capacity, is this sufficient? And also, can we change something? Because when you change something, you also, there is a goal. So what is your goal? And on that goal, you have your demands, your criteria, and then you make the choice what is the best in your situation. Many thanks for all these questions. Hopefully you enjoyed. I did. Go on and when you have cases or ideas or multiple thoughts, really enjoy this. Put it, upload these ideas, discuss with the other students in this MOOC, and when you have something written down, it will come to me, and hopefully I can give answers to you in the next video. So good luck and go on.